Okay, I am back, everybody, and I'm going to wait for those that we were having a really good discussion about van life, um, about the mental part of living in a van, getting in a van. I changed my location of where I am so we could get the Class A in, but it was a really good conversation, so I'm hoping some of the people who did not get their comments read or their question answered will jump back on because it was a really good conversation we were having. I'm going to move this over just a little so it's a little closer. I can see the screen better and the mic is closer to my mouth. It's also lunchtime, so I'm going to be eating tangerines. I know there's so many people that comment on the replays about me eating on camera. Oh well, get over it. It's about to happen. So I'm going to wait for those to jump back on so we can continue this conversation on van life. And basically what we were saying as I peel this and wait for others to jump on is it can be a bit harder to do van life in the beginning on your own if you don't have any kind of support, if you have people in your life that just think, you know, you're nuts, or trying to convince you not to do it, or they're just not supporting you and kind of you're talking yourself out of it because you have the lack of support. That can make van life very difficult. It can also be difficult doing van life when you're not in a setting where you can travel, even just part-time, and get out of the area, especially if you're in more of a city kind of area. That can be difficult as well. So I totally get that being hard for people. I'm just gonna wait. I'm trying to remember what some of the questions were. We were also talking about people who are married and maybe the one spouse doesn't want to travel and the other does. And I was saying that I know people that do that. They travel without their spouse. I have one friend who lives in New York and the winters are too difficult on her body, the different conditions that she has. So she leaves her husband in the early fall and comes back in the early spring. So because he still works, she's retired and she has disability. So she has to do what's best for her health as well. So it can be doable. It can be. Doesn't look like many people jump back on. I know the game is on, so that might be interfering with our chat. Hey, Amy. Amy's a new Patreon patron. Thanks for being a new being on Patreon. And Amy is going to be full-time this week. Wow. Congratulations, Amy. Woohoo. That's exciting. What area will you be full-timing in, or are you just going to be traveling? Okay, we got some people jumping on. Chicago area. Ooh, it's so cold there. You guys had like crazy winter this winter. You were colder than the Arctic at some point. Thanks for jumping back on, Judy. In the suburbs of Chicago. Okay, so are you working still? And I would be surprised, what's your heat source that you're going to do? Are you going to do like an RV park or some kind of a campground? Or are you plugging into someone's house maybe? And she says, following my example of keeping job for a couple of years. And yes, the weather is ridiculous. Yeah, I ended up, when I was in Virginia still and working, the 2 winters that I was still working, I did not live in my vehicle. I actually stayed with a friend one winter and then stayed with an older woman who, her brother stayed with her during the spring and summer, and then the fall winter he would go back to Trinidad. So I stayed with her that winter. But But I went as far as I could up to the fall when it just got too cold, and then I went and back into sticks and bricks. I didn't rent anything. I just stayed, you know, with people. Yeah, I don't know even if the wave 3 would be enough heat. So difficult. I would definitely have to, you know, insulate and do all that. I'd have to pull the sides off and insulate if I was going to do winters. Amy says, I was following you then to planners and storage unit. Nice. I have a safe place to park and my wave 3 arrives this week. Sweet. The wave 3 is really nice. Definitely go ahead and get the 20 pound tank. It's just worth it to get it refilled or exchange it. Judy wants to know if I'm putting the seatbelt on the twins when I drive. No, they don't move. This whole thing stays just like this when I drive. It's sitting on one of these rubbery shelf liners that you usually put in the kitchen drawers or in the kitchen cabinets for the dishes. This doesn't move. I haven't slammed on brakes crazy hard, so I think if I were to slam on brakes crazy hard, it might fly. But except for this one bottle of adult beverage, which normally is not in there, nothing here is breakable. So even if it goes flying, it would just hit the foot of the bed and then hit the floor, and it would be okay. But no, the twins don't get into a seatbelt. Amy says Obi-Wan, her van's name. He's my only hope. Oh, and it came insulated. Nice. It's good that your van was already insulated. That's cool. Nice, nice, nice. Hey, Miss M. Judy said, just like Patrick Jr. to sit by the adult, what? The adult drink. Actually, little Crystal is next to the adult drink. She's closer to it. Amy says Star Wars reference with his name. Nerd over here. What do you call people that are into Star Wars? Because I know I'm into Star Trek and we're called Trekkies. What are people called that are into Star Wars? What do you call them? I don't think I've ever known what their name is. That's weird. And yes, I am eating on camera. For those that are just joining, I am going to be eating on camera. Prepare yourself. Hey, Pam. Still loving my planner, Pam. Thank you so much for making it. I gotta pull it out and put all my February stuff on it. Because I've got to, it's a short month, so I've got a lot of things going on because we've got 2 new things happening for the channel in March. So I have got to pull out that planner and get my February and March plans down. I love not having the weeklies in there. Ugh. I used to be so stressed when I was a planner and they would have the month and then they'd have the weeklies after because I'm not a weekly planner and I would always be stressed about having blank weeks. And so I would just put stuff in it and waste stickers and stuff for no reason because I was so stressed about having blank weeks. So I really thank you for making the planner suit my needs. It was really sweet of you. Do you have an Etsy shop, Pam? If you do, put the link up there. Because the planner is a beautiful planner, guys, if you're into planners. And if she makes them, I don't know if you have a website or something, definitely go ahead and plug your information. And I love that it's all black and white and red. My colors. I don't even use stickers anymore. I don't really even own stickers that much. But I don't feel like I need to put them in there, you know? It's nice. You're eating Chipotle. Oh, I wish I had Chipotle right now. Hi, FaZe. I was going to continue our conversation, but I think the people that were on the last live did not jump back on yet. So I'm kind of waiting around to see, but we could talk about whatever you guys want. Just throw the questions up there in caps with an emoji at the beginning. Because we were having a really good conversation. I'm sorry that I had to jump off. And I know there was a lot of questions that went unanswered or comments that went unread. But you can definitely, I'll go back in the last live that I had to stop and answer some of those questions in the actual comments on the replay. You should. Even if you don't have to do custom orders. You can just do whatever ones you're already making for yourself. Just make some others. Digital planning is a big thing now too. I'm getting into digital planning since I have the iPad. Those are easy. You don't have to mail out anything. Look into digital planning. Those are things you can make too. Well, I'm gonna just ramble on until somebody asks a question, because it looks like some of those people might be watching the game. I have no idea what time the game's on because I don't follow football. So, hey Judy, thanks for asking the question. Any plans for the Banner family reunion before heading to the East Coast? Yes, I would like to come out and see you in Cali, but what I really want to do is Miss V has her anniversary. I can't say it too loud. Miss V has her anniversary coming up, and we're trying to do something. So I'll let you know, Judy. I'm thinking some kind of hot springs or something. That's what I'm thinking. I think we should go to some sort of hot springs. If anybody knows any hot springs in the Arizona, California area, I know there's one I went to last year. I'm going to try and find that info. I know I have it somewhere. I did a video, or I took a picture. Excuse me, I took a picture or something. So I've got to go back in some of my social media and find it. What are the... Pam wants to know what are the two dolls. We have a lot of Pams on this channel. We have Pam Ford, we have Pam from Trusting Your Process, and then we have my buddy Pam, who's a moderator as well. These two dolls were given to me from a Vanner family member, and his name is Patrick, and he's a white guy, so he gave me a white boy doll and a black girl doll, and he said that those are our kids. But he also said that the little white man doll is a voodoo doll for him. I had something sitting on top of his head. He said he had a headache earlier. So Patrick said he had a headache, and that's why, because I had something sitting on top of the head of the little boy doll. Anyway, they were a gift. Cute gift. They're actually little, what do you call those? The beanie kids. Remember they made Beanie Babies back in the day? Remember people used to collect those Beanie Babies? It's the same company, but they're called Beanie Kids. So they are Beanie Kids. This is Buzz. It says his name is Buzz. What's her name? Her name is Calypso. Whoops. I hit my refrigerator button. It says on the tag that his name is Buzz and her name is Calypso. Whatever. Judy says, I'm in. There's some by Palm Springs. Yeah, I think that's where I'm thinking about going. out the Palm Springs area to the hot springs. A big rock, not something little. A big rock, I don't know what you mean. This rock is a rock I painted. One of the gentlemen we came and parked next to, our little group parked next to, we kind of encroached upon his space. He painted and he invited me to come paint with him, me and a couple other women. And I painted my van down by the river. I love the water so much. So I found a flattish kind of rock down by the river in the moonlight. So it's a little red van down by the river. On little Patrick's head? No. The rock was sitting here on their laps. But I had something else sitting, something lightweight sitting on top of his head. No, I had the rock sitting on their laps like that. But I moved it. No rock. Anyway, we got a nice spot by the water. Oh, this Friday, excuse me, this Friday the 8th is Freaky Friday. These people have their dogs wandering. And here comes one of them. Don't forget, this Friday is Freaky Friday. I'll put a reminder, or I'll try and put a reminder in the community tab. I hope you guys are enjoying that community tab. I try to use it at least a couple times a week. So, ooh, my leg is going to sleep. Go away, dog. That dog is here again.
Oh, hell no, spray.
It's that little one. He's coming around and he's gonna poop all over the place, and they don't pick it up because they don't. He just went over there behind you, and they just letting their dog. They have like 4 dogs between them.
Shitting over there in the sand. And they don't have. They don't.
Yeah, who's picking it up? Right? They don't know where he's pooping, so they're obviously not picking it up because he just wanders around freely. You are on the live cussing.
So sorry.
Oh, here he comes. Ah, go away. Get the bejesus out of me. My leg's going to sleep. Yeah. Thank you, Miss M, for putting the calendar link up. So it's just crystalbanner.com, and then you can see the calendar and everything there. You can see, what else? You can, the link to Patreon is there. The Black Facts is there, because I post a Black Fact every day. Or Black Facts, because there's more than one each day, and I've been doing that for years. What else? There's some interviews and some articles that I've been written in, and I've been interviewed on some podcasts. Who's on the video? But yeah. Oh my gosh, my leg is gone to sleep. Hey.
You're on?
I am. It's not showing? I have some moderators on if you don't want to get on. It's up to you. Okay, that's cool. All the ladies around me, all of them are pretty much moderators. They're like, wait, do we need to get on? Do we need to get on? I love it. A community, a tribe. Pamela Gray says, I'm thinking about van life, but I don't know the best van to choose. And are compost toilets worth it? I hear the black tubes, I think you mean tanks. The black tanks on RVs are horrible. I can only give you my take and my opinion on all of that situation. So everybody's going to say, what's a best van? There is no one best van. Not, honestly, there's not one. Get the best van you can afford to get. Get the one that has the least amount of miles, the least things wrong with it, and gives you the most size, you know, inside for you to be comfortable in that you can afford. You know, don't go into crazy debt trying to find a van. I personally don't want a composting toilet. I had someone reach out to me and want to buy me one. This is my take on the composting toilet thing. I still have to dump that because you can't really compost it. It's a composting toilet, yes, but unless you've got somewhere to go put that compost so that it can become compost, because it's not compost when you're done with it, when you're done pooping in it. It doesn't become compost for like 6 months. So you've got to go put it somewhere in somebody's compost pile. And where do you find those? As you're traveling, as you're in different places. So basically you've got to take the compost from the toilet, put a bag over top of the whole toilet, turn the whole thing over, tap, tap, tap the bottom to get all the used compost into the bag. Like, I'm like, that's too much work because those things are awkward. They're heavy. They're big. You need a vent for them. They have to vent out. So it's not worth it to me to have it because I can just poop in the bag, or I can do what I'm about to do here soon is I can just put a bag inside my 5-gallon bucket and put some compost material in there, and when it's done or it starts to smell or I'm done, I don't like it anymore, I can just tie that bag up and toss it in the trash. So I don't think actual paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for the composting toilet is worth it, in my opinion, because they all still have the separating pee jug that you've got to dump. All of them. Every single one of them does. So you're not going to avoid dumping a pee jug. I already have a pee jug right now, so you know, it's not really, yeah. And what was the other thing you said, Pamela? The black tanks. Well, I've never used a black tank, but I personally could. I don't think I want to deal with a black tank. Even if I were to get an older RV, I would take the tanks out. I don't want systems, don't want tanks, don't want none of that. So that's just my opinion. Lady M says she likes my hair tie. Thank you. This is a Dollar Tree scarf that I've had forever, at least a year. Pam Ford says, y'all look so comfortable. We survived the Arctic blast here in Illinois. No, now it feels like springtime at 40 degrees. Woo, 40. That's still too cold. That's still too cold. All right, anybody else have a question or something we want to talk about? Van life? No? You might be typing. Pamela again says, you know, you're such an encourager for me to move forward. I love your spirit. God bless you. Thank you so much, Pamela. I appreciate that. Hey, Carlos! Carlos is on. This is my buddy Carlos. How come you're not a moderator, Carlos? That's not good. We need to make you a moderator. I don't know if it's going to let me. For some reason, it won't let me do it on the phone. Only on the... Okay, I'll have to do that later. The solar is doing pretty good. I can't see my charge controller from where I'm sitting, so I can't tell you what it's at right now. But it was at 12. When I moved the van over here, it was at 12, and I just moved about 25 minutes ago. So it was at... Yeah. I'm so upset that you couldn't come. You got all the way to Texas and had to turn back around and go back to Virginia. I was so disappointed for you.
I still need his help, and he wasn't here. I don't appreciate it.
I don't know if you heard V, but she said she was upset because she still needed your help and you weren't here, and she don't appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Can you imagine how disappointed he feels making it all the way out there?
I know.
That far and not being able to come to RTR? That's all right. Definitely next year he will be with us. He's gonna come with us when we leave the East Coast this end of the summer. You're coming with us. We are making you come with us.
Is he?
Yes, we're all making him come with us.
Oh.
Be prepared. Like, no, you have to come. You have to come out here with us, even if it's just for a month. He's in his van right now on his work break. That's right, you went back to work. How's it being back at work? That's gotta suck. But I'm glad you're able to work. Save that money up, stack the cash, so that you can come out with us next summer. When are we leaving the East Coast? Same time, September 1st?
Yes.
All right. Oh no, we can't leave September 1st. I gotta do my Maine trip first.
Oh.
Maine trip is September 7th.
Probably gonna be October 1st then, because you're gonna do that tiny house thing.
Maybe, I don't know. So October 1st.
You're gonna be doing it, because you won't say be definite now.
I can't know if I'm doing it unless they don't ask me. You hear her? You hear her?
Just make a date. Just stick to a date. Give me a date so I can plan my lunch.
October 1st then.
Thank you. That's all I'm asking. I don't ask too much.
October 1st, we're leaving the East Coast. If anybody wants to caravan as a group, we're leaving Maryland on October. Actually, no, we're leaving Florida because we're going to go down to Florida. I would like to go to northern Florida. You don't want to go to Florida? Well, I want to go to northern Florida for like a few days and then, because I haven't...
Wherever you goeth, I goeth with it, so that's fine.
You hear? Wherever I goeth, she goeth. Yes, you can come to Maine with us. Anybody on the East Coast that wants to come to the Maine trip, look on the calendar. It's already there on the calendar, September the 7th. The address is there of the restaurant we'll be going to. We'll be parking at the travel center that's about 20 minutes from the restaurant. And that's a Saturday, so I'll be there on Friday at the travel center, spend the night Friday night and Saturday night, and then Sunday we will leave Maine. It's Saco or Saco, S-A-C-O, Maine. And the restaurant is the Lobster Claw. This will be the third year. This will be the third year of me going to that same restaurant. It's a nice restaurant, but I do it just to piss off a lady. My petty runs deep. It initially started, and if you've never seen the video, go back into the Vanner Family Binge Watch. The video title is I'm Cussing Mad, and I believe if you even type that in to the YouTube search, it should pop my video up. But yeah, so it started out as me going up there, this woman really pissing me off, and then now it's become an annual trip. So yeah. All right, you said it's coming to Maine with us.
Awesome.
Thanks for putting the link up again, Miss M. And if you have to leave, Miss M, I understand, you can go. Yes, Pam's gonna come to Maine too, from the West Coast.
I'm not so sure about that part.
All the way from California, she's coming to Maine. Cali to Maine. Appreciate it. Judith says first week in October is the Hot Air Balloon Festival in New Mexico. You guys will be just in time for all the traffic. No, we're not leaving the East Coast until October 1st. We take about 3 weeks to travel, so we'll miss all that. We travel really slow and like to stop and see stuff. So no, we don't travel fast. So anyone who travels with us needs to know that. We take 3 to 4 weeks to get from coast to coast.
Ain't no rush.
Yeah, there's no rush. It's nice. We'll be traveling across the South going back, so it'll be nice weather. I would like to go to New Orleans. I haven't gone there yet. So I would like to do that. So we shall see. Irene says, I saw that video but haven't watched it yet. Now I gotta watch it. Yes, Amy, the parking lot lady. Last year she didn't have much to say to me because her home was getting redone. They were building a second level onto her home, so she had construction going on the whole time we were there. So it was like, I'm not pissing her off this time, but I did park right next to her house, that last parking space of the restaurant parking space. But her Mustang wasn't in the parking space anymore. It was in the driveway. So maybe they asked her to move it. Who knows? Anyway, it's just a nice trip to do every year. Go up to Maine. I like, I'm going to stop in, where did I stop? Not last year, but the year before. Last year, I went pretty quickly up there. The year before, the first year, I really took my time. And I took like 2 weeks to get up there. Really took my time. And stopped a lot of places because I was trying to do the whole East Coast before I came out to the West Coast. But last year I went pretty quickly. But the first year I went up there, I stopped at the, where was it? Shoot. Was it Rhode Island? I think it was in Rhode Island I stopped. And I went to the cliffs. Oh, it's beautiful. I actually have a video on that. So beautiful. I would love to do that again. Would love to do that again. Because that was beautiful. Those cliffs, just the water crashing up against the rocks, and oh, it was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But it'd be nice to have a little East Coast caravan to come out to the West Coast together for those that can travel slowly. And we could probably do it in 2 weeks. We could probably do 2 weeks. You don't want to do 2 weeks? Ms. B said no 2 weeks. Three is the minimum. Okay, sorry. Okay, never mind. I take that back. Ms. B said no. She said no. Actually, I have my I'll show you what states I want to hit. These are the states we're gonna hit going back to the East Coast. Don't know what cities yet, but I know what states I want to hit. I got my atlas here. Hold on. I'll just give you a little preview. So when we leave here, May 1st, Arizona, we're going to the Grand Canyon. Then we're gonna go to Utah, Colorado. So we're gonna go up to Utah, we're gonna go Colorado, we're gonna do South Dakota and North Dakota, wait, take that back. Utah, Colorado, who did I cancel? Kansas and Colorado, right? So I gotta go to Kansas because I promised I had to cancel them this fall. So we're gonna do Utah, Colorado, Kansas. Then we'll go through Nebraska, South Dakota, and North Dakota, and across the top. Don't know if we're going to be stopping in Minnesota. I might stop in Minnesota. I do have a friend there that I'd like to see. And then I think that's going to be it. We're going to just hustle ourselves on across.
Okay, I'm sorry. I need you to repeat that.
I'm talking to the people. I'm not talking to you. You'll get the detailed list later.
I still need you to repeat that.
Repeat what?
Repeat what you just said.
Hustle across?
Yeah, you said Utah.
We're going. Yeah, oh, she got her atlas out.
Yeah.
So we're going to the Grand Canyon, which is here in Arizona, northern Arizona. Then we're gonna go Utah, over to Colorado, over to Kansas. So Colorado will have a meetup. Kansas will have a meetup. Nebraska will have a meetup. No meetup in South Dakota, but we're gonna go to South Dakota. I'm not going to do North Dakota. I changed my mind. Then we're going to go over to Minnesota. There will be a meetup in Minnesota. And then we'll go back to the East Coast. So it's only going to be a couple meetups this summer. There will be some meetups on the East Coast, though. Once I get to the East Coast, I'll be doing some meetups. Maryland, Virginia. Obviously, the Maine meetup is September 7th. I'm trying to do New York, but I've got to have somebody who lives in New York. I need a place to park. So if I find a place to park, then there'll be a New York meetup on my way, either on my way up to Maine or my way back from Maine. I might do a Pennsylvania meetup as well. Then I've got to do some Atlanta, definitely going to Mississippi and Alabama. I have 2 people in those are private meetups though. And there'll be something in northern Florida before we head back on October 1st. So the details will come, but they won't come for a little while. Probably won't get those details. We're not leaving here till May 1st. I won't see those details until April. So these are all subject to change. So, hey Nick, thanks for being new and thanks for joining us. Carlos says he loves your answers. How you be yelling stuff at me.
I do not yell. I don't appreciate that, Carlos.
Well, he didn't say yelling. I added yelling. Yeah, we are going to do the Grand Canyon this year because I didn't do it last year. So, yeah. Yeah, Miss M, definitely finish your build in time to join us or meet us on the way. Hey, Tippy Joe. I'm in Kansas. Do I know where in Kansas? I haven't decided where in Kansas I'm going to be going because I haven't plotted out our course yet. Yeah, you won't know till about the beginning of April. That first week or second week of April is when everyone will know, because we're going to leave on May 1st. So that'll give, well, maybe by April 1st, I'll give everybody a good month. So if I go through South Dakota, you got to see this 50-foot tall Indian woman. Oh, interesting. Any plans to update the van as far as getting another van or updates inside? Because there have been updates inside that you haven't seen because I haven't done a tour video yet. I've been putting that off. I really should do the tour video this month, but I've really been putting it off. Oh, God. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work because when you tour other people's rigs, you hold the camera and they talk about stuff. So that's different. But to talk about and show everything, it's kind of hard. So, but I will do a tour video this month. By the end of this month, you will see an updated tour video. That does not mean that things won't change again, because you know me, they do. But I will definitely do a tour video of everything that I have going on now. I just got to go vacuum my rug. The rug is filthy, all this dust and dirt out here. No, there's no new bed. I'm gonna need Los and Jimmy to stop messing with me. So the curtain design, you saw that last night. If you were on the lives last night, I was sitting inside the van. If you go back and watch the podcast live, you'll see the curtain in the background. I did put it in the community tab here on YouTube, the curtain that won. The other curtain is not in use because I don't know where to put it yet. So I was like, where do I put it? I really don't have any